it is a given already that people are different in many ways. Magkakaiba-iba tayo sa personality, sa background, sa pamamaraan ng paggawa ng mga bagay, and sa ating pananaw sa mga nangyayari sa ating buhay. However, there are other factors that may contribute to the tensions and misunderstandings in relationship. Kasama na dito yung poor communication.
Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Ako po si Ate Perry Cartera, ang General Secretary ng Philippine Bible Society na bumabati sa inyo ng Happy National Bible Month. And welcome dito po sa panibagong episode ng Bible Talks where we will talk about real people experiencing God through His Word. Sa episode na ito ay pag-uusapan natin ang isang bahagi ng ating theme sa National Bible Month, which is harmony. Ang bawat isa sa atin, syempre, ang gusto natin magkaroon ng harmony sa ating relationships, sa ating mga kaibigan, sa ating pamilya, sa ating mga simbahan, at syempre sa loob ng opisina, lalong-lalo na harmony kahit sa ating mga sarili. Pero alam nyo, hindi naman maiiwasan ng friction, ang pagtatalo, ang conflict. Bahagi yan ng ating buhay. Minsan nga hindi natin napapansin yung ating mga salita, yung ating mga ginagawa ay nakakaapekto sa ating harmonious relationship sa isa't isa. Kaya ngayon, aalamin natin, paano kaya tayo magkakaroon ng harmony sa ating relationship sa isa't isa at talaga namang ito ang gusto ng Panginoon. Ano kaya ang matututunan natin sa Bible tungkol dito? Kasama ko po sa talakayang ito ang ating guest na si Dr. Fe Arcenas. Si Dr. Fe po ay isang retired na Dean at Research Director mula sa Brokenshire College sa Davao. Isa siyang registered psychologist and architect. At isa ring practicing psychotherapist and counselor. Bukod dito, nagsusupport din siya sa ministry ng kanyang asawa na isang pastor. Si Ate Fe po ay nagko-contribute sa church bilang Sunday School Superintendent at Christian Education Director. Let us all welcome Dr. Fe Arcenas. Welcome po, Ate Fe!
Hello po, salamat po na ako ay naimbita dito sa inyong Bible Talk.
Yes, at parang hindi tayo nagkita ng matagal, ano? Parang last month lang yata, ano? Ilang linggo lang kasama tayo dyan sa Davao, Ate. Dr. Fe, ang pag-uusapan po natin muna ay yung background ninyo. Nagtataka po kasi ako. Kayo'y isang arkitekto. Pero bakit ho kaya kayo nag-shift at nag-aral ng psychology at pumasok sa counseling? Ano po ang naging inspiration ninyo at nagkaroon kayo ng ganitong interest sa psychology?
Oo, tama yan. Kasi ako ay dating full-time mom. For 10 years, ako ay nag-alaga ng 3 gwapong mga lalaki. No? And it was a very fulfilling time for me. Yet something in me wants to know more about how human beings grow and develop to be the people they are. Initially, dahil ito sa gusto kong maging mas mabuting ina para sa aking mga anak. Pero later, since I was a pastor's wife, at hanggang ngayon ay ako ay pastor's wife, I thought about how I can best support my husband in the ministry. At alam niyo na ang pastoral work involves a lot of relationships with people. So I thought, since the children are already more manageable, mag-aaral ako uli at I will reinvent myself from being an architect to a psychologist. And when I shared this to my husband, he was very supportive to the idea and also to the schooling. I did the bridging subjects and proceeded to go into the Masters of Science in Psychology. So in these classes, I enjoyed the sharing of experience and the knowledge with my classmates and teachers so that after the Masters, Decide pa rin ako na ipagpatuloy ito sa PhD in Clinical Psychology.
Wow.
At hanggang ngayon, dahil ito ay nagbigay sa akin ng fulfillment, ay itinuloy ko na rin sa pagiging psychotherapist at counselor.
So you're already a mother of 3 and a pastor's wife.
Yes.
No? When you entered itong field ng psychology, siguro dito marami na rin ho kayong naging experience na counseling yung mga members ng church. Kasi marami ho sa ating mga simbahan ay nagkakaroon ng problem dahil sa relationship at hindi pagkakasundo, umaalis. Ano po? Sa tingin po ninyo, based on your professional and personal experience sa mga anak, dyan sa simbahan, ano po yung pinaka-common na pinagmumulan ng tension and misunderstanding among the family members, friends, yan, at kasama sa church?
It is a given already that people are different in many ways. Nagkakaiba-iba tayo sa personality, sa background, sa pamamaraan ng paggawa ng mga bagay, and sa ating pananaw sa mga nangyayari sa ating buhay. However, there are other factors that may contribute to the tensions and misunderstandings in relationship. Kasama na dito yung poor communication. Maaring meron tayong mga unmet expectations sa mga tao, and we fail at times to listen and hear what is being said by other people. And the tendency also to impose our values on others that may result to holding grudges, not admitting one's fault, lack of forgiveness, unresolved issues from the past. Meron tayong tendency talaga na bilang tao, makasalanang tao, na maging selfish, and the tendency to protect ourselves from embarrassment or being shamed. So, gumagamit tayo ng mga paraan para ma-prevent natin yung tayo ay mapapahiya, no? So, some of these are lying or dishonesty, hindi tayo nagsasabi ng totoo. Pwede rin yung passing the blame on others. Hindi natin tinatanggap yung ating responsibility. And the exploding in anger pag tayo ay na-threaten para hindi na makasagot yung ibang tao, magagalit na lang tayo. No? So itong mga coping strategies na ito na ginagamit natin harms the relationship and aggravate the conflict situation. Meron akong couple na counselan, and they have been married for 9 years. They came to me for counseling. Ang complaint ng asawa, ang kanyang husband daw ay hindi nagmi-meet ng kanyang emotional needs. And she feels unvalidated with her feelings. Then kinausap ko yung husband at diniscuss ko yung ganitong complaint ng kanyang asawa. At ang sabi naman ng husband, ang asawa daw niya ay masyadong dramatic and too emotional. It was obvious that they were on a different page, no? Hindi nakikita yung kanilang pananaw. And that results in a poor communication. I have seen that the wife grew up in a family that share openly their feelings. However, the husband was raised in a family that does not talk about their feelings. So yung ganoong kaibahan sa kanilang background ay dala-dala nila sa kanilang relasyon, and they haven't been able to come to terms with these differences. At ito ay nangyayari din sa simbahan, no? Na ang mga tao sa kanilang iba-ibang pamamaraan ng pag-communicate ay nagkakaroon ng misunderstanding sa bawat isa.
Doktora, salamat po doon sa i-share ninyo, no? Maganda yung sinabi ninyo kasi lalo sa simbahan, magkakaiba ng pinanggagalingan, no? So yung mga expectations, magkakaiba din ng level at ito yung pinagsisimulan ng hindi pagkakaunawaan, kagaya ng i-share po ninyo dito ngayon, ano? Minsan, hindi ko po alam, no, kung minsan or madalas, ito'y dahil sa family background. Kaya kagaya na sinabi nyo, yung background ng babae, they share openly yung emotions. Sa lalaki, hindi. So, paano ho nakaka-affect sa relationship itong mga pains or background sa childhood?
Napakalaki po ng epekto nito kasi ang childhood, ito ay isang crucial period sa development ng mga tao, either physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Lahat ng experience natin nung tayo ay bata ay nagiiwan ng marka sa ating brain, sa ating mind, especially yung mga happiest at yung most painful ones. Most of our current responses and actions to people and situation reflect what we have learned from the past experiences and interactions in our childhood. Ang ating paraan ng pananaw sa ating sarili is often influenced by the way that the significant people in our life have looked at us and how they treated us. So if they have responded to us positively, have given us loving attention, and have expressed how they valued us, we will grow up confident of ourselves at marunong tayong mag-relate in positive ways to other people. And we can also bounce back easily from difficult experiences kung maganda yung ating childhood experiences. It will be easier also na ma-appreciate natin ang pagiging loving ng Panginoon. But if on the other hand, our significant others disrespected us or abused us or invalidated our feelings, we will be insecure about ourselves and our abilities. We may have problem trusting others, or we may be solicitous of others' attention to make us feel important. We will also be having doubts about God's goodness and love for us. Ay yung mga galing sa ganitong environment na magkaroon sila ng negative experiences, nahihirapan sila na makita na ang Panginoon ay mabait at mabuti sa kanila. Dahil ang childhood pains have a way of influencing the way we think, the way we perceive things, the way we see what is happening around us. Some childhood pains may manifest in the form of oversensitivity to comments and criticism of others. Other pains can create anger management issues and an inability to regulate our emotions. Maaring maging defensive tayo or offensive at the slightest comment from another person. And some other pains can cause us to be perfectionists, unable to tolerate the perceived faults and mistakes of others. Or we may become suspicious that others are talking against us and in turn intend to harm us. So ito ay malaking bahagi ng ating buhay, yung mga experiences natin ng kabataan natin.
Napakaganda nung sinabi niyo, Doktora, no, na yung significant people, how they treated us when we were kids, napakalaki ng epekto how we now interact with other people paglaki natin.
So when we find ourselves harboring hurts caused by people, Paul tells us that instead of being bitter, we are to let go of bitterness and anger. Ang salita ng Panginoon ay nagbibigay ng encouragement sa atin. Dumadating ito sa atin at the right time, at the right moment that we need the Word of God.